been seeing a lot of comments, particularly in Reddit, about people jailbreaking chat and announcing they can get it to write erotic content, things like that. Y'all don't have to jailbreak anything. OpenAI relaxed their restrictions several months ago, so it will do some pretty good erotic content these days. And here's an example of things it has done. So this one isn't erotic, more violent. This is from a Jack the Ripper scene that I did. So I asked it to rewrite it, make it more immersive. And whereas before anything with blood used to trigger it, it doesn't have an issue with that now. Just give you a chance to kind of scroll through that. It's not bad. Is it perfect? No. But this is so much better than what it used to give way back when it would constantly trigger and give you warnings and things like that. So several mentions of blood, not a trigger at all. And as an example of erotic content, I gave it some scenes, and then it is going to start writing. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you look at my title up here, this is actually step siblings, which chat refused to write a couple of months ago, but now it is happily doing. It is doing menage, group sex, everything, you name it, it is doing it. The boundaries so far existing that I found is if you try to get too violent during your sexual content, the two mingling, that will trigger it occasionally. I haven't found the exact line yet. So that is something to watch out for, but it will also get rough with the sex. So this is just breaking down, and it's giving me scenes, and then I later use these scenes to actually write the scene and everything, or sorry, write the chapter. Just giving you a chance to read it. And then it goes on. So this is all OpenAI giving me ideas for how the scenes can play out. Right. So let's see what it'll do in a regular chat. Now this one is not going to have my style in it like the projects do. So this is going to sound very much like AI. Let's see what it'll give us straight out the box. Right, sample scene. Let's see what you can do. And I just went, well, I should say king, because that should get us there sooner to what we're wanting. Let's see how this works out. I would read this, except I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube. So not bad. So now let's try to trigger it. Obviously, we could keep going. I could tell it I want it more immersive, dirtier, things like that. Again, I have done it with these stories here or my menage, all that. What's interesting is if you look at the title, you see it up here on my tab as well. Sorry, I can't comply with that request. But you'll see there's no triggers or anything here. And you could also thumbs up that. Give them some praise whenever it gives you what you want. So let's try mixing in some violence with this. And I word it that way. That shouldn't trigger anything, but let's see. Ouch, definitely not the kind of violence I want. That makes me want to laugh. Okay. So here is where we will possibly cross the line. I'm going to correct that because I don't like that. So you see here, not in a way that lacks consent. That is really its boundary. Like if you flat out say you want not consensual, we could play with dubcon and see how it does. And it's still going, so it might trigger here at the end. Let's see. So you can see it is very much leaning towards she actually does want it, which stays within its content boundaries. But still not bad. But we're going to keep pushing it. Like this, so let's try. Seems like it's just taking it up just a notch. I do like this line. Yes. Right.com. Again, the point is you don't really have to jailbreak. It's just finding that limit. And so far for me, it's been flat out non consensual, which I do write a lot of. And it was doing stopping at the step siblings, but here lately it has been writing those as well. Maybe something slipped through the cracks and they're going to change that soon. Who knows? And what you can do is you can see here how it kind of glances over the scene, right? I mean, it's a quick one. So you can always ask it to draw things out more. You can give it a little, tell it to do some build up, and then the middle scene, focus on this, however you want it to play out. But otherwise, it will kind of rush through it. And this is the important part about giving it your style and you being in control of what it's going to give you. Or at least as much as you can be in control until it says, nope, not going to do that. I know. And then it's going to prompt with the color scene. Okay. So let's see. I am almost certain this is going to get flagged. That way. And cue trigger. Let's see. Yep. So there you go. And usually it will offer you something. So if it ever gives you anything like this, read through. Sometimes you can say, okay, I like what you're offering. Let's go ahead and do that. So it is telling us, I want to tell it, yes, I love this. I'm going to let it go to the end just to see, because sometimes it'll trigger there at the end. And it finished and didn't trigger. I am really liking it. So again, work with it. Take it up step by step. If you're still unsure where that line is for the content that you want to write, just take it up a notch at a time, whether that's through violence. Matter of fact, let's try violence. So kind of the same thing that we did for the sexual content. The hero. Should have given him a name. Now, I've had people say, hey, it doesn't come out like this whenever I do it. Keep in mind, and this is another video I can do if people need some help on figuring this out. But keep in mind, I have custom instructions in my ChatGPT for it to talk to me a certain way. You can do that in regular chat like this. You can change that up per project. So if you're using different projects, you can give it instructions for how it should talk there for your stories. So let me know if that is something y'all would like to see. I'm liking this. I honestly don't see a need to go any farther, but let me try this little method right here. So I love this scene, but I feel like it's rushed. So it's rushed a bit. Can you draw it out some more? Now this is much better. I like this. And then I'm just going to jump to asking it, what are your limits with funny content? And depict real life torture methods and how to instructional way won't glorify violence against real world groups or promote hate. Won't do snuff style content with zero narrative purpose. And of course, if it involves children in any manner, no. Which I agree. No matter how dirty my books get, joking, rest assured the children are always safe. So I like my personality. I love my personality. And I'm going to give it a thumbs up there too. Right? So that's just an example. I want people to feel a little bit more relaxed when using ChatGPT. They did relax the restrictions several months ago, and it does seem to have become even further relaxed. Again, I don't know if that's just a temporary glitch, if something slipped through the cracks and they're going to change it and revert back a little bit. But even before this recent further relaxation, it was doing erotic content. So y'all don't stress over needing to prompt it a certain way to get the content that you want. It will do the violent content. It will do erotic content. What I think some people are having trouble with is the output itself. They're not liking the style. So that is fixed by other methods. So let me know if y'all want to see any of that and I will get some videos done. All right. Hope this helps. Bye.